Ever since he was rather surprisingly sacked from his position as the manager of Tottenham Hotspur, former Argentina international Mauricio Pochettino has been carefully weighing up his options. The talented manager was a huge success with the North London club, and just a few months before he was shown the door, he actually guided the Spurs to the final of the Champions League, where they lost to Liverpool. Under his guidance, Tottenham became one of the most exciting teams in Europe to watch, boasting a lethal pairing of Harry Kane and Son Heung-min. However, the 2019-20 season started in a rather catastrophic manner, and the London club struggled for form and consistency. And as you know, we're talking about an industry where results matter the most. The club's chairman, Daniel Levy, decided to wield the axe and let go of a manager who made Spurs who they are today. Now under the stewardship of Jose Mourinho, Tottenham are finally looking to lift the Premier League title and have made a pretty decent start to the new campaign. We're going to talk about the Londoners in another video, but for now, let's just focus on Pochettino. While it was surprising to see Tottenham end their relationship with him, it was even more surprising to see that the Argentine didn't go for any other option. While Juventus did have a few options once they fired Maurizio Sarri, they ended up bringing in Andrea Pirlo. Manchester United were reportedly looking at him as a replacement for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but the Norwegian has been able to cling on to his role at Old Trafford and, given the club's recent turnaround, is moving away from the red area. PSG, on the other hand, ended up sacking Thomas Tuchel, even though the German tactician had guided the Liga and Giants to a Champions League final, just like Pochettino had 18-odd months ago. It's clear that it was only ever going to be a tempting project at a massive club that would entice Pochettino into returning to footballing limelight. During his enforced sabbatical, the former Espanyol player had discussions with a lot of clubs such as Benfica, AS Monaco, Barcelona and Real Madrid. No official offer was ever made, but it appears that the man himself wasn't too eager about those jobs. But in all honesty, it's not going to be a very easy job for Pochettino. He only needs to call Tuchel and ask him how tough it can get when it comes to managing a side whose ownership craves European domination and has the right tools for that.
I think that was misunderstood. I was captain on Paris Saint-Germain. I played 3 seasons.
As a former player who enjoyed 30-odd months at PSG, it was pretty much a no-brainer that Pochettino said oui to the Liga and Giants. They have the finances and the players to make any manager's job that bit easier. However, it's not going to be a walk in the park. Tuchel was reportedly dealing with a lot of issues at Parc des Princes and had already told the ownership that he wouldn't be staying beyond the current campaign. He's a manager who's a firm believer of the fact that in football, the collective is far more important than the individual. However, at PSG, importance of the star is of paramount importance. So much so that players like Neymar and Kylian Mbappe have a direct line of communication with the president. This doesn't happen at every club, but then again, the Parisians are no ordinary club and are run in that way. This season, PSG were in 3rd place in the league standings and came really close to an embarrassing exit from the Champions League group stages. 14 points from a possible 24 doesn't make good reading, and it is clear that the team has quite a few problems to deal with. This season, Thomas Tuchel's relationship with director of football turned from an awkward one to a fractured affair, and we all know who always wins in such cases. Pochettino, for his part, has been very patient and has waited out to see the best option. It isn't easy for a manager to be jobless for long, but the Argentine had been a busy man during this time. He went to Qatar following an invitation from the Supreme Committee of the World Cup and was already in the good graces of the ownership. Throughout his sabbatical, Pochettino had been working with former players and even current players in a bid to explore options to help them reach their potential. While he wasn't managing a club for over a year, the shrewd tactician had been in the game. Interestingly, he has no agent or PR man who can take care of needless things for him. He prefers to do things directly. It's even more interesting to know that he rejected several advertisement offers because he knew that there would be a fair bit of advertising commitments at his next club. Clearly, Pochettino knew what he wanted, and this is why he's gone to PSG. He arrives at PSG knowing that he's starting with a clean slate and is set to face a unique challenge.
To build again this relationship, and I think always follow Paris Saint-Germain.
Throughout his career as a football manager, Poch has created teams and helped them push their levels up. His greatest strength lies in working with players who are hungry for success and willing to run the extra mile to get better. He's enhanced his reputation by playing a brand of football which is very exciting and easy on the eye. The neutrals love watching Tottenham play, and even though it was difficult due to the financial constraints, Pochettino did really well. Now though, he'll have to deal with completely different types of players. At clubs like PSG, Real Madrid or Barcelona, they do things differently. The overall culture is totally different. Here, a manager is expected to deliver silverware on a regular basis, and just pushing yourself to be the best is not going to keep you safe. PSG owners would expect the new manager to fight on all fronts, and they might not be very forgiving if the team stumbles along the way. This is why he's only been given an 18-month deal, which means that the ownership is going to see how things pan out. Moreover, with Mbappe not really showing any inclination towards signing a new deal, and Real Madrid monitoring his contract status, Pochettino will have a serious task on his hands to convince the youngster into staying on for a few more years. Wherever Poch goes, he takes the same team, so it wasn't surprising to see the same coaching staff follow him to Paris. But based on his first press conference, it's clear that Pochettino is eager to do well at PSG. I would like to thank the club's management for the trust they've placed in me. As you know, this club has always held a special place in my heart. I have wonderful memories, especially of the unique atmosphere of the Parc des Princes. I return to the club today with a lot of ambition and humility, and am eager to work with some of the world's most talented stars. This team has fantastic potential, and my staff and I will do everything we can to get the best for Paris Saint-Germain in all competitions. When it comes to PSG, you have to understand that there's a political dynamic to the club. Tuchel wasn't a big fan of acting like a sporting diplomat and was more focused on seeing his team do well. This is another reason why he was always going to leave the club at some point. Pochettino, though, knows how important it is to be able to properly engage with all the stakeholders. The club's ownership aims for it to be a global brand, and this is why they prefer a certain type of individual to lead the team. Hiring Pochettino makes a lot of sense because the Argentine is an amicable person and someone who's shown a great interest when it comes to investing time and effort into different cultures. Moreover, it's clear that players love to play for him. At present, the club is trailing Lille and Lyon by a point in the league, but the squad they have, you can expect the reigning champs to return to the Liga and summit. What would define Pochettino's career as the manager of PSG would be his ability to guide the team to Champions League glory. The club has invested heavily in a squad that's capable of conquering Europe. They did come close last season, but eventually the owners would want nothing less than European silverware. As things stand, Mauricio Pochettino has a great chance of adding a few trophies to his CV. While he did wonders during his time in the Premier League, the wily tactician was unable to win anything of great significance. At PSG, he has a great chance of doing that, but at the same time, he would know that dominating within France is no longer going to be enough. By the end of the next season, the Qatari ownership would be looking to see the club dominate Europe, and if Poch is able to deliver the goods, you can expect him to not only become part of the club's recent history, but also earn a lucrative long-term contract.